I'm Scott with Work Happier, where we're building better workplaces and happier workforces through the experiences of people. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
This is the next video in my resume series. It follows the first video, which is Your Resume is an Argument. Check it out if you haven't watched it. But today we're just digging into what is typically the most overlooked part of a resume, the top, right? The name, the contact, and a headline or a top line. And the reason that I like to go here first is because so often when I talk to somebody or you read advice or whatever it is, they're talking about formatting first, or ensuring ATS compliance or compatibility, whatever that means, or looking at keywords, right? That those are the things you should be worried about. But that's you need to first understand how you're going to orient the reader. That's what matters. How fast can somebody understand who you are? And if you don't have a strong headline, a good start, then you have to consider how is it that you're communicating to somebody how they should read this document. Because that top line, the first thing somebody sees, it's doing a very specific job, right? It's an introduction. What lens is the reader seeing this document through? It should not create friction. It should reduce it. It should be easy to get through. A very clear direction. And it really should establish your positioning right out of the gate from a career standpoint. What are we doing here? Who are you? Typically you're looking 3 words, maybe 4, 5, I guess, if you really, really need it. But I should be able to understand as the reader in maybe 1 to 2 seconds what it is that I'm going to read and see and who you are without really stopping or slowing down. Because your resume, right, it's a communication document. That's what it's for. So if we're not thinking about things right out of the gate, font size, hierarchy, spacing, visual flow, how does somebody read something? What do you want them to see first, second? What doesn't really matter? Because all of those pieces communicate something to somebody. So if we look at like a couple of examples, right, there are probably 2 very common mistakes I see more often than anything else. The first one is you put your LinkedIn, you put a LinkedIn link at the top, within the contact information. Totally makes sense. I do it pretty much every time. The mistake is the amount of people that just put the URL right in, and it's confusing. Link it, say LinkedIn, and make it a link. I think I'm going to have a little graphic up here while I'm talking about this for a second, but when I see every time the URL is in there, I literally go, it's like, what, WTF, like what is this? You've lost my attention. I've got to stop and try to figure out, it's a LinkedIn link. What is going on here? There's a lot of words and symbols, and my attention's gone, right? You've diverted me from the point over to trying to figure out what this URL is. And then also font size. You'll notice when I make my resumes for people, that font size is small. I want it out of the way. I want name and who you are, what you do right out of the gate. Because who cares? The your email address, your phone number, if they want it, it's right there. You don't need to be drawing attention to it. You want to pull attention away from it, but it does have to be there, of course. So that's one mistake, and it drives me crazy, and I see it every day, quite frankly. And then the second one, and this one is far more damaging and very, very common as well, is bloated headline, right? 2 lines, 5, 6, 7 different titles, headlines, categories, 12, 13 words. When you put that much information, it actually equals no information, because I can't figure out what it is that you want me to understand here. And don't end up reading any of it basically, or at least I don't end up processing any of it. And the problem there is that I understand why people do it, right? You're worried oftentimes about not getting everything in, but you've got the whole rest of the resume. You just have to bang, bang, 1-2 seconds. What's the headline? I need to know exactly who you are, what you're doing. You don't need to cram your whole identity, your personality in there to maximize the information. And that is, it's not super complicated. It's a name, big font, contact information, small font, get it out of the way. And then headline, high level, quick, who are you? How do you want me to read this resume? Because once I understand who you are, I can start to build, as I said in my previous video, I can start to build that argument. You can start to build the argument once you've oriented me. And that's where, the summary comes in, which is typically next. That's your thesis statement for an argument. That's how you position yourself. It gives you, the opportunity to kind of set up the narrative, describe your operating style, and then finish with, what you want. You've finished the argument. So really in closing, when you're talking about a headline or a top line or a title or a name, if your reader has to stop and decode what's going on up there, you've created friction before anybody has even started reading your resume. And that's the bottom line, and make sure you're orienting your readers right out of the gate. Thanks. I hope this was helpful. And as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, it is all about the people. Thanks.